January is usually a bit of a soft month for new video game releases, and well, it's kind of a soft month for the Nintendo Switch. There's some stuff coming out, some games I want to highlight. There's a bunch of RPGs if you like kind of quirky RPGs. But yes, the month of January is a bit lacking when it comes to Nintendo Switch games, but there are some that I want to highlight. So that's what we're going to do in this video. So sit back, relax, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and let's talk about the best upcoming Nintendo Switch games for the month of January 2020. Kicking things off, we have Dr. Kawashima's Brain Training coming to us on January 3rd. Now, I remember when Brain Training first came out on the Nintendo DS, and it was one of those games that actually sort of bridged the gap, kind of like Wii Sports did with the Nintendo Wii. This game got a lot of people who weren't interested in the Nintendo DS to be interested in the Nintendo DS. Sudoku was a very big thing at that time, and this seemed like a game that had a lot of Sudoku in it, and I actually owned it on the Nintendo DS. Maybe it made my brain a bit stronger. You basically train your brain to become a smarter individual. You use the Nintendo Switch in a variety of ways in this version of the game, such as holding it vertical to solve puzzles, or you can even detach a Joy-Con and use the Joy-Con IR camera to detect the shape of your fingers, which is pretty interesting. The game has a local multiplayer mode where each person uses a single Joy-Con to solve puzzles as well, and the game allows you to share your results online. Like I said, the DS version of the game was kind of interesting, but I think the most interesting thing about the Nintendo Switch version is the fact that if you buy it in stores, you actually get a stylus with it, which the Nintendo Switch probably should have came with originally. If you're looking to become a smarter individual, Dr. Kawashima's Brain Training will help you do that, and it comes to the Nintendo Switch on January 3rd. Coming to us on January 14th, we have not one, not two, but three RPGs with the Atelier Dusk Collection Deluxe Pack. And like I said, it is a collection of three games. Atelier Aisha, the Alchemist of Dusk DX, Atelier Isha and Lagi, Alchemist of the Dusk Sky DX, and Atelier Shali, Alchemist of the Dusk Sea DX, which all released on the PS3, and I probably pronounced every single one of those titles incorrectly. It is a JRPG series with a faster paced combat system. The Switch version of this collection has redone HD graphics, a run button to use when you're on the overworld if you want to move through the field a bit quicker, and includes a lot of the DLC from the original games, such as more bosses, costumes, and characters to choose from. I've never played or really followed any of the games in this series, but it seems like it was somewhat popular on the PS3, at least popular enough to warrant a re-release. The nice thing about this collection though is that if you just want to play a single game from it, you can do that, and you can purchase all three games individually if you wish to do that, which is a nice touch because you might not want to play all three of them. I probably won't be playing any of these games, but you might be interested in them when they come out on January 14th, and I apologize for butchering all their names. On January 17th, we have the lone Nintendo release for the month with Tokyo Mirage Sessions Score FE Encore. What happens when you take Fire Emblem and mix it with Atlas games? You get Tokyo Mirage Sessions Score FE Encore. Yes, I'm saying score because people kept making fun of me for saying hashtag FE Encore. It is a hashtag, but whatever. This game, of course, originally released on the Wii U and was kind of ignored since it was sort of towards the end of the system's life cycle. Tokyo Mirage Sessions Score FE Encore combines elements of games like Fire Emblem and Shin Megami Tensei in a very unique musical-based RPG game. The Switch version of the game does have some new things added to it, however, such as new story content, new songs, and new characters as well. It is worth noting that there is a bit of a controversy over the original release of the game featuring censoring of certain things, and this version of the game does feature that same censoring. Still though, the game does have a bit of a cult following, and with its unique style and gameplay, could end up finding new life on the Nintendo Switch. But I'll be honest with you, it's a little too strange for me. On January 23rd, we have 1980X coming to the Nintendo Switch, and finally, a game I'm actually looking forward to playing, 1980X. This game was originally a Kickstarter game, and 1980X has released on various platforms such as Steam and the PS4, but it's finally coming to the Nintendo Switch, and honestly, this should be a match made in heaven. You play as a kid in the 1980s who is in a bit of a crossroads in his life, and like many people, finds solace in gaming. Since this is the 1980s, the arcade was the spot to be at, and you play as games as this kid in the arcade with an overarching story. You play from a variety of games, from a shoot-'em-up game to an Outrun-inspired RPG game, a side-scrolling platformer, a Streets of Rage-inspired beat-em-up, and even an RPG, all while things are happening in the real world with the kid. And right there, folks, is a recipe for success in my eyes. I think the graphics look great, the artwork looks amazing as well, and it just seems like a game that's right up my alley. I do hope it does have some synthwave music as teased in the trailer though, because that would just be the icing on the cake with this game. It was very well received on other platforms, and I think it'll find a great home on the Nintendo Switch when 1980X comes on January 23rd. You know what, folks? We need another RPG in the month of January. I mean, every game we've covered so far, minus Brain Training, was either an RPG or had an RPG element to it. And just in case you have not gotten enough RPG action, we have Pillars of Eternity 2 Deadfire coming to the Nintendo Switch on January 28th. An isometric action RPG, Pillars of Eternity 2 Deadfire has you playing as a pirate in a region called Deadfire, looking for chaos and treasure. You visit various ports and get quests, and then set out with your cast of characters. You can choose from 7 different companions to accompany you on your quest, all which can be upgraded via skill sets, weapon sets, and even start to form personal relationships as well. The game uses a Dungeons & Dragons style combat system, which of course is very popular in these isometric RPGs, and it looks kind of fun to be honest with you. The game was very well received on Steam and seems to be somewhat popular, so maybe this RPG will manage to stick out a bit from the crowd with its more mature aesthetic and Diablo sort of feel to it when it comes to the Nintendo Switch on January 28th. On January 30th, we have Skelly coming to the Nintendo Switch, and you know what this list needs? An action RPG! All jokes aside, Skelly is the one game with RPG elements that I will definitely be playing on my Nintendo Switch in the month of January because, well, it just looks really dope. A magician goes crazy after getting dumped by his girlfriend and summons monsters to destroy the kingdom of Kobold, and accidentally also resurrects a legendary hero named Skippy. Skippy is a skeleton, which is actually one of the focal points of the gameplay, as you can swap out skeletal parts in order to give Skippy new abilities on his quest. You get different armor, you get different upgrades for your weapons as well. The gameplay is an action RPG, but definitely leaning more into the action portion, as there's fast-paced combat and even platforming in the game. Obviously, one of the stars of the show with Skelly is the visual style, which is very reminiscent of games like Paper Mario and Okami. I'm actually really excited for this game, and games like this are one of the reasons I love doing these videos, because without researching what's coming out for the month of January, I would have never known about Skelly, but all I know now is I need this damn game. On January 30th, we have Arc of Alchemist, and I'm not even going out of my way to pick RPGs in this video, but here we are, another RPG game for the Nintendo Switch. Arc of Alchemist has a bit more of an action-based gameplay style than a turn-based RPG style with hack-and-slash elements. You're in a desert, you're trying to rebuild civilization, and there are additional gameplay elements as well when you're rebuilding civilization. I think the game looks pretty clean, but honestly, I'm just worn out on talking about RPGs for this video, so let's just watch the rest of the trailer together, and maybe this game will interest you. Like I said, it's Arc of Alchemist, and it comes out on January 30th. Hypercharged Unbox comes to the Nintendo Switch on January 31st, and folks, we have finally done it. We finally have a game on this list that doesn't have any RPG elements in it whatsoever. And it just happens to be a kick-ass first-person shooter with tower defense elements set in a toy universe. Hypercharged Unbox was a game that was actually shown during an Indie World presentation earlier this year, and was a game I was very interested in. It looks a lot like Toy Story on drugs, and honestly, I don't think that's a bad thing. The game has you defending a hypercore, which, if it gets destroyed, is game over for you. You have a variety of different ways to defend the hypercore, such as building turrets or barricades to stop the enemy waves from destroying it. You can team up with up to 3 friends in local mode or online mode to stop the invasions. You can also play online in player versus player mode, and the game does offer single player missions as well. You gain XP depending on how well you do, and that'll help you unlock more skins for your character and your weapon, so there's reason to keep on playing the game. The levels themselves are huge and unique, and the game encourages explorations in these levels to find hidden things such as collectibles and credits. Oh, did I mention there's like a big ass T-Rex in the game too? Yeah, because there's one of those. Hypercharged Unbox originally released on Steam, and it seemed to be well received, so hopefully the Nintendo Switch version of this game is highly polished as well, because this is a game I'm actually really looking forward to. The final game on our list is Oddworld Stranger's Wrath HD. Now, this game does not have a confirmed release date, but it has been slotted for January 2020, so hopefully there's no issues or delays with the game. Now, this game originally released in 2005 on the original Xbox, not the Xbox Series X or whatever, the Xbox. And Oddworld Stranger's Wrath had you playing as a bounty hunter who must collect on bounties to get money to pay for a life-saving operation. The game has first-person shooter and third-person elements mixed into it as well, along with platforming. The Switch version of the game also features HD rumble and gyro controls, which is always nice for a shooter game. The original release of this game was one of the highest rated Xbox games ever on Metacritic with an 88 out of 100, so hopefully the gameplay in this HD version has held up over time. Honestly, I'm looking forward to checking out this game, so hopefully Oddworld Stranger's Wrath HD does not get any sort of delay and we get a concrete release date for the month of January. Alright, so those are the Nintendo Switch games for the month of January that you should have on your radar. Obviously, there's a lot of RPGs on here, a lot of smaller games, but I feel like smaller games can still be really fun experiences, especially games you never heard of, like Skellboy. I want Skellboy right now. So let me know in the comments section down below what you think of this list of games, what games you're looking forward to in the month of January, and which games from this list that you'll be picking up, or what games I might have missed. And as always, guys, thank you for checking out this video. This will be the final video before Christmas happens, so if you celebrate Christmas, have a Merry Christmas, have a Happy Holidays. I'll be taking a few days off to enjoy Christmas with my family, relax a little bit, recharge the batteries because we're going into 2020 full steam ahead, full bore. I want to thank you guys for an amazing 2019. It's been an absolutely crazy year for the channel. Everything has been going very, very well. I cannot complain. Thank you guys who have purchased things like merchandise from the Spreadshirt store. I'll have a link to that in the pinned comment in the comment section down below. Thank you to everyone who picked up a book as well. I will also have a link to that in the description or the pinned comment down below. You guys have just been absolutely amazing this year, and 2020 is going to be another phenomenal year on the channel. I'm looking forward to it, and I'm looking forward to sharing it with you guys. Once again, thank you guys so much. I love all of you. Have a very happy holidays, and as always, I'll catch you guys on the next video. Later.